Good morning and welcome to week 7's assembly. I can't actually believe that 7 weeks have passed since we were last in school. It seems ever such a long time ago. I'm hoping you had a lovely bank holiday weekend and managed to take part in some of the VE Day celebration activities that were uploaded to show my homework. Okay, this week I've got a craft activity for you and a story which is called The Selfish Crocodile. Okay, here we go. Deep in the forest, in the river, lived a large crocodile. He was a very selfish crocodile. He didn't want any other creature to drink or bathe in the river. He thought it was his river. Every day he shouted to the creatures of the forest, "Stay away from my river. It's my river. If you come in my river, I'll eat you all." So there were no fish, no tadpoles, no frogs, no crabs, no crayfish in the river. All were afraid of the selfish crocodile. All the forest creatures kept away from the river as well. Whenever they were thirsty, they went for miles to drink in other rivers and streams. Every day, the crocodile lay on his great big back in the sun, picking his big sharp teeth with a stick. But early one morning, the forest was awakened by a loud groaning sound. Something was in terrible pain. The creatures thought that it was an animal caught by the crocodile. Groan. But as the sun came out brightly, they saw that it was the crocodile who was in pain. He was lying on his big back, holding his swollen jaw, and he was crying real tears. Groan. The creatures drew closer, but not too close. Some of the creatures felt sorry for the crocodile. "What's the matter with him?" asked a deer. "I don't know," said a squirrel. "Maybe he's going to die," chirped a bird. "If that happens, he'll be safe to go in the river," grunted a wild pig. The animals thought about this. They hung from the branches, they hung from the vines, they buzzed in the air and they shook their heads as they watched the great big crocodile in pain. No animal tried to help. Suddenly, a little mouse appeared, sniffing the air. He ran along the crocodile's tail, then onto his tummy. The other creatures stared. "Look at that mouse," chattered a monkey. "He's either very brave or mad." "He's going to be eaten for sure," said an iguana. The mouse crept along the crocodile's big neck and into his open mouth. There was a hush in the forest. The mouse got hold of something and pulled and pulled and pulled. Then he put it on his shoulder and walked out of the crocodile's mouth. There was a loud cheer from the astonished creatures. The crocodile sat up and said, "I don't feel in pain anymore. It's all gone." Then he saw the mouse walking down his tummy, carrying an enormous crocodile tooth on his shoulder. "Your bad tooth was giving you toothache," answered the mouse, turning around to face the now smiling crocodile. "Do you want it back?" "Oh, no, no, no. Get rid of it, and when you've done that, come back and I'll have a present for you." The mouse went and buried the bad tooth under a tree, and when he returned, the crocodile had a nice juicy nut waiting for him. As the crocodile watched the mouse eating the nut, he said to him, "You were very clever getting rid of my toothache, and kind too. I am so grateful. But what shall I do if my toothache comes back?" "Don't worry, I'll help you take care of your teeth," answered the mouse, nibbling. Soon the crocodile and the mouse were best of friends. And one day the crocodile sent all the animals an invitation. "Please come and drink and bathe in the river. I won't hurt you. This river belongs to all of us," he said. The creatures weren't afraid to drink and bathe in the river anymore. Although the crocodile was sometimes snappy, they grew to love him. And soon the river was full of fish and tadpoles and crabs and crayfish. And that's the end of the story. Now for this week's craft activity, we're going to make something from origami again, but this time it's something that you can play a game with. We're going to have a go at making a jumping frog. Okay, so we need the following things. Just a piece of paper and a pair of scissors this week, nice and easy. We're going to start by creating a square as we have done before. So fold our paper as so. Make sure again we smooth along the crease lines, that's going to be really important today to get this to work. And then we're going to cut off the rectangle to one side. Remember, if you're not that confident with scissors, maybe get someone at home to help you a little bit here. Now this week's looks a little bit fiddly, but actually it might be that you need to have more than one go, because when you get it right, these jumping frogs are really fun to play with. Okay, when we've cut the rectangle off, we can put our scissors and the rectangle to one side, and we should now have a square of paper in front of us. Okay, first thing we're going to do, we're folding the piece of paper in half. So we're going to start by folding just like so, just by putting the two pieces of paper across to one another. Okay, make sure you run your finger along the crease line. And now we're going to start at the very top. We're taking one corner and we're folding it across in a triangle shape, and then we run our finger along the crease. Now we're going to open that up and we're going to repeat the same thing at the top, but we're going to fold it the other way. Again, run your fingers along the creases, and when you open up the top you should see you've got a cross now running from one side to the other. Okay, we're going to repeat the same thing with the bottom, so take it and fold it across to make a triangle, open it out and do the same thing the other way round. Now the next bit's a little bit fiddly, but if you watch me very closely, once you've got the hang of it, it should be quite straightforward. So we're going to start at the top, we're going to pinch the two sides where we folded and bring it back down on itself, and then flatten that out to create a triangle shape. And again, as I've said before, because this is a springy frog, the creases need to be really crisp today. Okay, now repeat the same thing at the bottom, so pinch the two sides in to create the triangle, run your fingers along the creases, and you'll see here we've almost created like a small square. Okay, now starting at the top, we take one side and we're going to fold it up and into the middle. And we do exactly the same on the other side. And now we're just going to turn them back on themselves. So we take that and we're folding it in half back on itself. And these are the little legs that the frog will need later on. Okay, so we do that to one side, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to repeat this step on the other half of our frog. So starting at the bottom, we take the top half, we're going to fold it down in a triangle shape, and the same with the other side. And then we're going to fold it back on itself, just so that it sticks out like a little leg. So we're just folding it back in half. And again, run your fingers along the creases really carefully, otherwise your frog won't jump at the last stage. Okay, that's that part complete. So we're now going to turn the whole thing over, and we're going to be working from the other side now. You can see me there, just running my fingers along the creases. So we're going to take it and we're going to flip it over the other way. Now we start right at the bottom. We're going to take the very bottom section and we're just folding it back on itself. You'll only be able to do this so far because of the creases underneath. And again, run your finger along it very firmly. Now we're going to take each side and we're going to fold them down and into the middle. Okay, so if you look, it goes right into the middle, as if there were a line running straight down the centre. Creates a triangle shape in the end. Then we do exactly the same with the other side. We're folding it in and we're running our finger down from top to bottom. We're nearly finished now. And now's the bit that's just a little bit fiddly. If you don't get this right, your frog won't jump, and on my first attempt it went wrong. So we take our shape, we're going to lift it up, and we're actually going to fold it in half. Okay, so just before I do that, I'm just making sure all my creases are really nice and firm, and I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to fold him in half, just like so. There's quite a lot of paper here, so you have to be quite firm. And I'm applying lots of pressure to try and make sure I get a good crease line here. And I'm going to take this piece here and I'm just going to fold it back on itself, and I'm going to try and get as close to the end of the frog as I can. So I'm folding it back like so, and And again, I'm putting lots of pressure there. Now, if you don't get this quite right, as I said, your frog won't jump, so you might just need to undo him and try again. And there we have it, finished frog. When we push on the back, he jumps. Here's one I've decorated, and you could decorate it any way you want to. And when you're finished, you can make him jump, and maybe you can have a competition with your family and friends. You could even create a target with numbers on it and see who can get to the centre, a bit like a bullseye. Now I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed the story. Hopefully it won't be too long now until we can all see each other again.